In this presentation, we will be analyzing the internal and external factors affecting the manufacturing of denim jeans. We are
Mauricio Moreno,
Carlos Vela.
Iris Arguedas. Denim is a traduction of a French word. However, its name comes from France. Jeans production started in Genoa, Italy, centuries ago. But it was until the 16th century that it was exported to England, and it began to gain popularity among men because of its durability. Production of denim and jeans in America began until the 18th century. In 1870s, Levi Strauss created a strong style of workers' pants with rivets that was quickly adopted by Californian coal miners. So in the gold rush boom, denim took off. Denim was used by workers, but as time passed, they started to be used by the young as a statement of their generation. Also, they started to be used by the fashionable who cares about the prestige transmitted by designers. When jeans entered the market, demand increased due to the fact that they started to become a trend. This project analyzes each area of the process of manufacturing and the internal and external aspects of denim jeans. We will be able to identify all the processes that are being made as well as their advantages and disadvantages. We will be able to understand concepts studied in class and gain a much clearer idea of its applications in real life.
The external operating environment works in a complex way, considering many factors that may affect the production of a product. Among the most important are government regulation, economy, global competition, customer expectations, and quality, guiding the product to a better position in the market. Government regulation basically consists on agreements and standard and labeling barriers that consist on facilitating the trade between countries. One important regulation was the application of the use of the International System Units or the aircraft control, forcing the companies to take administrative actions of trade restrictions. Anti-dumping consists in the regulation of prices of import products that probably may affect the prices of the national production. The government developed several norms to protect these products and their prices in order to compete with the other imported products. Eco-friendly policies are being developed. This is because nowadays the consumer is interested in those aspects, and also the countries are preoccupied of their ecologic impact in the planet. There are new norms and requirements that the company or the government need to convert, prohibiting different types of chemicals. Quota restrictions are necessary, taking in account the different trade agreements that each place or economic area may have in order to make a trade easier and beneficial for the countries involved. Being member of a bilateral or multilateral agreement helps the textile and apparel imports to increase very rapidly. Import and export licenses basically focus on the control, measurement, and quality of the product or the raw material. The standard textile and apparel products are highly regulated thanks to the official rules and voluntary private standards that impose the requirement that clothing labels should include. Government regulation also focuses on the consumer protection, where they have laws and has the right to accuse them of misleading marketing. Protection for the employee also enter in the safety standards, where the manufacturing plant must have the basic safety regulations needed to ensure that the worker does not suffer any kind of accident. The economic conditions influence the demand of the company's product or services and the availability of inputs. Some reasons that the country may suffer the change of its economy are shifts in the age of the population, needs of ethnic groups, low population growth, free trade between countries, and increased global competition. The US is the biggest denim market in the world, consuming 41.7% of the global denim supply. Europe is the second largest market for denim products, accounting the 23.3%. Japan is another important market for denim products, holding 10% of the market share. China is now the world's number one textile and apparel exporter, China is now another important place for denim production, and in the near future it will be in the highest countries of production of textile. Denim jeans is one of the most used textile products in the world. Just in the US, denim jeans can be found in a 96% wardrobes of the US consumer. It represents an estimated of 60 billion global market for rentals. With this demand and a fast fashion movement, people have searched for higher quality jeans and the best prices. Important brands and shops of jeans are trying to fulfill their demand by making a more interactive and easy way to get the jeans the consumer is looking for. Also, the treatment and agreements of importation and exportation of products between countries, in this case textile, are being fundamental to the approach that the company may have with the customer.
The customer satisfaction measures how products and services supplied by a company satisfy the customer expectations. The existence of any business relies on pleasing the needs and wants of a customer. Customer expectations could be influenced by many reasons, such as the advice of a colleague, their own buying experience, among others. Customers' expectations can be divided into two parts: primary expectations that include the price, design, color, brand name, comfort, and more. There also are the secondary expectations that include response time to complaints, after sales service, and others. The quality of denim jeans depends on the cotton used to make them. Tests have to be done to determine the quality of jeans. After the finished products have passed through all the required quality tests, they are inspected for defects carefully and detailed. There is a government-defined scale for defects that goes from 1 point for small flaws until 4 points for major defects. To end with, denim jeans are inspected, and if there is a problem, it is determined whether they can be sent back to repair or not.
The internal environmental factors. The internal business environment includes factors within the organization that impacts the approach and success of your operation. In this document, we will analyze the internal environmental factors of the company through religion. The business objectives are the results you hope to achieve and maintain as you run and grow your business. In other words, are the goals the company wants to achieve in a certain time. Most of True Religion's objectives are related to profitability, but some objectives, like the marketing ones, have as purpose to maintain a strong brand image while maintaining the customer happy. The business strategy is a long-term plan of action designed to achieve a particular goal or set of objectives. This is True Religion's business strategy. This is how the business strategy affects in the manufacturing of a product. The manufacturing strategy can be defined as the patterns of decision, structural and infrastructural, that determine the capability of a manufacturing system and specify how will it operate. As you can see in the video, the manufacturing strategy of True Religion is make to stock. This is how the manufacturing process affects the manufacturing of a product. The manufacturing process are the steps through which raw material is transformed into a final product. The manufacturing process of True Religion is flow, because most of the process is standardized and has a specific duty. This is how the manufacturing strategy affects the manufacturing of a product. In the end, this is what differentiates true religion from the competition.
The SWOT analysis is very useful for every company, especially new ones, because it helps them to realize which things affect their business to turn them around and grow. Every company should do this very often to take advantage of that moment. For example, True Religion are very expensive designer jeans, so they didn't grow as they expected at the beginning, but instead, they searched for a market that could buy their products and show them to the world. This is how they gained popularity. We have learned that jeans are one of the most basic pieces of clothing for humankind, and they have been for a few centuries. They are so important that understanding and defining the essential strategies and processes for their production is fundamental to have a successful jeans company. Two are the factors that affect a product's manufacture process. The external ones have to do with regulation and norms of each country, as well as with the trade barriers and customers' requirements or needs. While the internal factors have to do more specifically with the company's policies, their business strategy, and the way they manage their production and demand. After researching for all denim manufacturing process factors, we got to the conclusion that the best manufacturing strategy for denim was make to stock, because denim companies decide which size they are selling for each cut they produce and in which sizes. Then they distribute them between retailers and wait for customers to buy them. Besides, they also have some fabric and cuts already done waiting for warehouses to apply the design they want. Thank you very much for your attention.